Barney history fans, welcome to another episode of the Spots of Love podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Karan. This is our final one of the three that I wanted to do for this revival of the Barney history fans Facebook group. Thank you all for taking part in it. I hope you've had fun throughout the month um, in doing all the engagements and having the conversations and just having fun with each other. I really appreciate the support. Hope that you guys will continue staying in the group and interacting with everyone else that's a part of that. We really appreciate it. Today, for our final episode, we have another, of course, Barney fan that some of you might already know. He's a moderator for the Barney History Fans Facebook group, but he's also an actor in his country of Colombia, and so many other talents that I can't wait to talk to him more about. Everyone, please help me welcome our friend Billy Koppel. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for the invitation, Karan,
Yeah.
and hello to everyone who are watching.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hopefully we'll by the end of this we'll get rid of your nervousness. We'll just have some fun, just have some conversation. And yeah, by the end, hopefully you're not nervous anymore. We try to make it pretty cool and laid back. So thank you for agreeing to do this for me. I really appreciate it.
No, I really appreciate your invitation. It's a dream come true, really. Really, I always wanted to be here, and thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, for sure. Now, to get started, usually the way I like to start is we just go back to the beginning of of your life when it came to Barney. So, can you kind of explain what your introduction was to Barney? Do you remember the earliest memory that you have of being introduced to this character in this show and what that was like for you?
Of course. Well, I don't remember the first time. I remember through my mom memories, and all the stories that she told me. I was a baby, and I had babysitter, and she said to my mom that I I ate all my vegetables just if she put Barney in the TV on the TV.
Yeah,
And when I was little, Barney was aired on Discovery Kids, on
yeah,
Discovery Kids channel, and every day they had 3 hours of Barney, and and I was in front of the TV just like this, with no other TV shows. Yeah, I like a lot of other kids TV shows like Sesame Street, Caillou, Clifford, and Bob the Builder, Lazy Town. And I like all of those TV shows, but with Barney, since I was a baby, I had a very strong connection,
yeah,
and that's why I started um I don't know how to say the word. And when was my birthday, the all the decorations were I don't know
hmm
how to say
was
that were of Barney,
mhm.
and the birthday presents. Um, I think that's my first memory of. And when I ate my vegetables, my mom said that she brought them from Barney's farm,
Nice.
and and carried them in a purple bag. I remember that.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Do you remember what age that was for your birthday? How old were you turning then? Do you remember?
Yes, my first three birthdays
Hmm.
were Barney themed.
Wow. Nice.
Mm, yes, the first birthdays. On the first birthday, my mom brought Barney, BJ, and Baby up, of course, people with the costume.
Yeah.
And of course, I watched Barney in the TV, and the size of the characters was like something like this. But
Yeah.
when I was a little baby and I watched all of these three dinosaurs so big, I started to cry all the party. But on the second birthday and third birthday, I started to get closer to them, and the the all the miedo. I don't know how to say the word in English. The scare?
You mean like the costumes?
See, yes, sorry. Yes, the all the scare to the costumes
Mhm.
uh, was away. And
Nice.
the fourth birthday, my mom got tired that was always Barney and
Mhm.
was Clifford. But I
Oh
continue
yeah.
Barney since the fifth birthday.
Nice. That's really cool, man. I never had the experience to like meet Barney in person or have the character come to a birthday and things like that. But when I was a teenager, when I was 14, I bought a Barney suit and I would go out and be like that kind of person who were those guys coming to your birthday parties, going out to kids' birthday parties or daycares and interacting with the kids and singing and dancing with them. And you just see how those kids appreciate and love that character. Um, and yeah, of course, seeing it on a screen where they're much smaller and then now they're in front of you and they're much bigger, it's kind of scary to begin with. But once you got used to them and not so scared of them anymore, what was that feeling like of being able to see this childhood character that you loved be right there for your birthday party?
It was amazing. It was a dream come true because when you're a kid, you don't realize that it's a man inside of a suit, but through through the imagination, you think they're real,
Hmm.
and that was pretty pretty amazing. I have so little I don't know how to say the word, um rememberings from
Yeah,
the
memory.
parties, but when I thought or when I see photos of those days,
Yeah,
um it was pretty cool. I remember Barney was very popular on those years. So my friends at the kindergarten, they also had the parties of Barney. So
yeah.
Barney came to the kindergarten very often.
That's awesome.
I think that I because he went so often, um, this girl they become little and little and little. Um, and of course, understanding that if Barney was always love and kindness and always happy, I don't have to be scared of a character that always was saying to me, "I love you."
Yeah,
That was, I think, I was scared about the size that was pretty big, and I it happened with a lot of characters, all the characters, no just Barney.
yeah,
But when I realized that, the scared go away.
yeah, for sure. That's really cool, man. It's cool that you got to have that experience and have it more than one time at your party is pretty
Yes.
cool. You talked about watching other shows, all classic shows that you mentioned, Clifford and Caillou and Bob the Builder. Um, those
Yes.
were all amazing shows, in their times. Shows that also I watched too growing up. Do you
Mhm.
know what made Barney uh, so special to you that maybe those other shows didn't give you? Do you know what it might have been that made you be more connected to the character of Barney in that show?
Okay, great question. I think first of all, I've always loved dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, dinosaurs are really cool. Mm, I think the another point could be the music.
yeah,
I love music since I was a baby, and the songs were very catchy. And I think a very important point that I think was not that weren't on the other TV shows, but on Barney um, was mm, more involved, more um, I don't know how to say it. Was
thinking like
was
more.
more present.
Yeah,
Was more present. That was the love concept. When Barney was in front on of the TV and saying for example, on Barney says that he said, "Remember, I love you." Of course, I watched it in Spanish.
mhm,
Was "Recuerda, te quiero mucho." Um, I see Barney eyes, and I really, really, really thought that he was saying that to me.
yeah,
I felt that connection. And of course, the imagination concept. The imagination concept, because the program was very simple, and with whatever you have, you could use your imagination. For example, your bed could be a ship, and it caught me always. I
yeah,
think that those 4 points are the most important that caught me than other TV shows that of course were important and talk about love and imagination, but didn't have it in a so special way.
yeah, yeah. Do you growing up when you were watching Barney, which era or generation were you a part of? Like which version of Barney was on TV at the time that you were watching it?
Okay, I was born in 2002,
Okay,
so the season that was airing was season 7.
season 7, yeah.
Yes, season 7. Um, so in Discovery Kids, I'm going to tell you a context of Barney in Discovery Kids and how Barney become famous in Latin America.
Yeah.
Mm, Barney Barney and Friends become airing in the USA and other countries in 1992, but it was just until 1995 that Barney sus amigos
Hmm.
become airing in started airing in Latin America, but um, they began airing in TV programs that was local TV programs in different Latin American countries. When Discovery Kids began airing preschool programs in 2002,
Hmm.
Barney was there. Barney was part of the list of the TV shows that were part of this refresh on the TV channel. Barney was well known since 1995 to 2002, but was 2002 the year that Barney became very popular in this part of the continent,
Yeah.
and that was the year that I was born. So I was born in the in Barney popularity in Latin America. Um, So when I was born was season 7, but of course I watched the lyric era, the lyric era, and the third season in Spanish.
Okay,
In
yeah.
Spanish, first and second season, they didn't air that those seasons anymore. But Discovery Kids, um, when the seasons were airing in the USA,
Hmm.
they aired here in Latin America the same season,
Oh,
but
okay. Cool.
they they re-aired season 4, season 5 sometimes.
Oh, sure.
So I watched season 4, 5, and 6 on Discovery Kids.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, and of course I watched season 2 and season 1, but on VHS, some episodes or specials on VHS that were sold in the Blockbuster or in the on the video stores. Um, but yeah, I was when I was born, there was Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato with Barney on the TV.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool because I was born in '93, so I was also
Okay.
born. Um, I was born right before the popularity of Barney. Right, it was so popular with season one. Um, and
Mhm.
I'm sure you know the history that it got canceled, and then the parents fought for it to come back for season two. So it was very popular, but it had not gotten to the highest popularity level yet. But me being born in '93, I grew up through the big era of when he was the most popular here in the U.S. So it's cool that in Colombia for you, being born in 2002 and that being when he was most popular in where you're from, it's a kind of a cool connection. And it's interesting that that was the year that he became even more popular, and it hadn't taken effect earlier in the 90s like he had across the US. Um, do you think uh, as you watch those shows, you were exposed to the hit era, which is the park era that you grew up with, but then also the lyric era of things and that older generation. Do you have do you have a preference? Is there a favorite that you have of which era you like or you enjoy more than the others?
Of course, my favorites were the lyric era and the Lions era,
Lions
season
era?
one
Yeah.
through to season 3. Yes, yes, that were my favorite. Besides, yeah, I enjoy it season 7 and 8 and the others from the hit era. But when I started to watch the previous seasons, those were my favorite. I love them, and sometimes I search it in YouTube on YouTube
Mhm.
if there were episodes in Spanish of those seasons when I was a kid, because that those episodes were
Yeah.
lost media, because I know in the USA, when the most episodes were at stores by VHS.
Mhm.
Here no, here in Colombia and the rest of Latin America no, and the but when I found an episode that I never watched it, it was a treasure found.
Yeah.
um Yes, but my favorites, I think my favorite season is season 3.
Yeah.
and it's pretty sad that there's no a lot of episodes in Spanish. Um, but I understand all of the episodes because they use a very simple English.
Mhm.
Mm, and it's curious because I right now I used to watch Barney in English than in Spanish.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to watch Barney 22, 23 years of my life in Spanish, that
Mhm.
it was turned from the English to be in my on my screen. And yeah, I think I prefer season 1 to season 6 than the heater.
Yeah, that's really cool. When watching those shows, when you do go back and watch Barney in English, there's obviously different voice actors that's doing the job. Um, you know, when you first watched Barney in English, not dubbed in Spanish, did it take some getting used to hearing the different voices from the characters than what you were used to listening to?
Not at all. Not at all. I think in the Spanish dub, the dubbing director Eduardo Tejedo made a great cast back in 1995. I
Mhm.
think uh, more than Barney, BJ and Baby Bob have a pretty close adaptation from the English, the original version.
Mhm.
He chose Elsa Cobian to voicing Baby Bob and Lois Santini um, from the voice of BJ. And I don't get much difference. There are cases that happen with other TV shows that the one voice from one language and the other voice are pretty different.
Yeah.
But on Barney and Friends and Barney y sus amigos, there was a pretty similar connection. Besides, that was a very different language.
Mhm.
The the voice, the color of the voice was pretty close to the original version. Of course, having in mind that they have to make their own version of Barney in Spanish and all the
Sure.
characters. Also, it happened with the Spanish version
Mhm.
because Bob West was from season 1 to season 6,
Mhm.
and then was Dean Went. And also, it happened with the Spanish version too. An actor called Jose Carlos Moreno was
Mhm.
the first voice of Barney from season 1 to season 6, and then from season 7 to the final season, to season 13, 14,
Yeah.
was Ruben Cerda.
Mm.
So the change was in the original version uh, and the Latin American version, but the change of the Latin American version of the Barney voice, no, the reason of the change no was from what happened with Bob West and Dean. The change was because Jose Carlos, the first voice of Barney in Spanish, was the voice of Big Brother, the
Okay. Yeah.
program Big Brother,
Mhm.
and he couldn't get to the dubbing sessions of Barney y sus amigos. Um, so Eduardo Tejedo, Eduardo, uh, had to deliver an episode. I don't know. I once I asked it to him what the episode was. I think it was Barney Adventure Bus.
Okay. Yeah.
Jose Carlos didn't didn't get to the dubbing session,
Mm.
so Ruben was dubbing Mr. Boyd.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he asked it, you can't do Barney voice? So He led them a Barney beach, the Barney beaches to hear the voice, and the next day he made it, and he since that day he was Barney,
Wow.
and it was very sad that 2 years later, I think, Jose Carlos passed away
Oh no.
in a traffic accident.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was 10 days before I was born.
Wow.
Yes. So it was in the first days of May,
Mm,
um, back in 2002. And that was why Ruben uh, started to be the voice of Barney. But it was at the same time that Dean started on season 7.
yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you for that history. It's cool. Obviously, we're in the Barney History Fans group, and so we've almost collected almost all the information that you can find or learn about Barney here in the US and some, from across the way in other countries. But it's cool to hear. I've personally never heard that story before. Some other people might have, but it's cool to hear something new in connection to Barney history that hasn't been heard before. So thank you for sharing that. Um,
Sure.
Now, uh, let's jump forward a little bit, and then we'll come back too. But obviously, now we have this new version of Barney. We have Barney's World um, animated show. The first thing that I want to ask you is, it's obvious, everyone knows they've changed the character BJ's name to Billy. when you when, when you first when that was first announced and we all found that out, what were your thoughts about the character's name being changed, the name sharing the same name that you have? What were you thinking at that time?
It was very funny because I thought I'm on the show, or what, or what
Yeah.
what's going on. No, I get pretty pretty fast that BJ the name started to be Billy.
Mhm.
I A personal opinion, I obviously prefer BJ, the name BJ.
Yeah.
Um, but when I watched the series, my brain, I don't know why, split uh, both characters. One is
Yeah.
BJ from Barney and Friends, and one is Billy from Barney's World. I don't think that they're the same.
Hmm.
Mm, but when I when I knew from the first time that the character's name was going to be Billy, I laughed a lot. But it was a little sad for me because BJ gets fits so good to the character.
Yeah.
Yes. I sometimes I don't realize that I have the same name with the character, but when I realize it, I think it's cool. I think Billy from Barney's World, it's a cute character.
Hmm.
If you don't compare it with BJ, obviously I have on the top BJ, I love him, but but when I realized that Billy is a character from Barney's World, I think it's pretty good, cute, and it's a good character. But
Hmm.
yeah, we have the same name, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think that's a cool way to think about it. Them as separate characters. My kids, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old who watches all of Barney. They like Barney and Friends. They like Barney's World. But my 4-year-old, she does that same thing. Uh, if she's watching Barney's World, that character is Billy to her, and then if she's watching Barney and Friends, that's BJ. It's to her. I don't think it. I think it's the same for you, where it's not the same character. They might look the same, but they're in their own shows, different names, and I think that's an easier way. I think maybe to accept the fact that they changed his name is just by going, oh, that's. I mean, it's. I think it's the same way we look at Barney's World in general, where we just say, that's a completely different show. Yeah, they're the same character names, or they might look the same, but that is different from what's over here. And you kind of accept it a little bit easier that way than if you were to compare them, and which we do a lot of that too. But I think it's interesting that that's how you also see those characters as just two separate things. Um, Now you know some history about the voice actors. Uh, the voice actors that are on Barney's World now are not the ones that did Barney y sus amigos, is it?
Yes, they're different.
Yeah.
They're different, but there are some actors that were on on Barney y sus amigos,
Mhm.
but in a different characters.
Oh,
For
okay.
example, for example, Billy. Billy is voiced by Maggie Vera. Maggie Vera is a Mexican dubbing actress, and she voiced um, Lucy on Barney y sus
Oh,
amigos.
wow.
Lucy in in season one and two of Barney y sus amigos. Also, she was the singing voice of Sean.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, of Sean. And another fact, she was in every single episode of Barney y sus amigos. Why? Because she was part of the kids chorus
Mm,
of Barney y sus amigos. When the kids are singing, uh, they weren't dubbed by real kids. There
yeah.
was a group of actresses that they were Maggie Vera, Elsa Cobian, that was uh, Baby Bob's voice in Spanish, and Romy Mendoza. She made the voice, I remember, um, of Twinkle, the elf,
Okay,
on
yeah.
Barney's
Magical musical event.
magical musical adventure, and they three they made the kids chorus. For example, Maggie Vera. For Baby Bob, she's voiced by Annie Rojas. Annie
Mm,
Rojas, Barney and Friends was dubbed in Spanish, she was a kid, and she voiced Cami on season 7
okay, yeah.
and Tracy
Mhm.
on season 10,
10 through
11,
13.
12.
Yeah.
Yes. And Luis Navarro, who voices Barney on El Mundo de Barney.
Yeah.
He never did something on Barney y sus amigos. I am missing one. Oh, the dubbing director. She is Cynthia Chung, and she was the voice of Emily, I think.
Mm,
Emily. Emily on season 5 and 6.
wow.
And
That's really
and
interesting.
sorry, excuse me.
No, I just said that's really interesting.
Okay, yes, it is. Another fact: her first job in Spanish dubbing was on Barney and Friends.
Wow.
She 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 had to say. the Barney, one of the Barney says segment. Do you remember that? In I think in on the lyric era, there was a kid saying, hey everyone,
Yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
time for Barney says." Yes,
Mhm.
and she made one of these kids, and and it was her first job in dubbing, and then she started dubbing Emily.
Wow. That's yeah, that's super cool. I like the fact that even though they weren't the voices of the dinosaur characters, they were still connected to the original version. Which
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had that here with Barney's World. I wish some people on the show were connected to the original series and they weren't. Which kind of sucked, but it's cool that at least there the voice actors and actresses who are working on the show, most of them at least had some kind of connection somewhere else with the show.
Yes, another fact is that the original voices, Ruben for Barney,
Mhm.
Elsa for Baby Bob, and Love for BJ, actually they made the casting for the characters on Barney's World, and
Wow,
they didn't get the job.
that's
That's pretty
crazy.
sad.
Wow.
One time, Ruben on an interview, he told that he actually they the Mattel was um a little bit confused for the way that they wanted Barney voice in the new series.
Mm.
So Ruben was told to make the original voice of Barney, the original voice from Barney y sus amigos. But he had a callback, and Mattel thought that the voice of the original Barney with the animated Barney didn't fit.
Oh.
So they told him that he had to change the voice and more similar to the original from Barney's World. Um, but he didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I voiced my voice of Barney is from the original Barney."
Yeah.
That's a fact that is curious. In a personal opinion, I would prefer that the original voices uh, voice the new series. But I think the voice of Luis and Maggie and Annie, they're great, and they
Yeah.
fit with the new characters.
Yeah. Man, that's interesting too, because it seems like I wonder if that story is the same with the other versions of the show as well. It seems like Mattel steps in their way on every part of that show, right? Instead of getting the original people or getting the people that have some knowledge or connection to the show previously that would help it become a success, they completely went the opposite way. And we knew that that happened here. And it's interesting that it's kind of the same thing. At least they went to the original people there, even though they didn't give them the job. That's kind of annoying. But at least they at least gave them the chance, I guess, to audition, which Bob and the rest of those guys didn't get. But I do wonder if if
Yes.
that kind of story is the same for the other countries who has dubbed versions. If Mattel also stepped in the way of those ones as well. It's an interesting piece of history to know. Um, before we move on, I want to talk more about what you do. But before we do that, have you ever had a chance, aside from the birthday parties that you had and having the characters show up at your birthday parties, did you ever get a chance to see Barney live at all and in person?
Yes, I have it. I had it 3 times.
Ooh, wow.
I yes, I went to
Okay.
Universal Studios, Florida. Yes, 3 times. One back in 2016, yes.
Mhm.
The second one the next year, 2017, and the third one um on 2019 when I was graduated from high school 3 times, and
Wow.
I have those 3 times on the highlights of my life.
Yeah. What was do you remember what that feeling and that experience was like, uh, seeing him in person, not only performing, but then being able to meet that character?
Of course, when I remembered, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
um, the first time I was really nervous. I was
Mm.
the attraction was empty. It was pretty early in the morning,
Oh, okay.
and the meet and greet. The first thing that I do was get into the Barney store
Uh-huh.
and bought everything that I could. And also, I asked when Barney and Baby Bob and BJ to the first meet and greet. On the attraction, there was just one meet and greet with all of the three dinosaurs,
Mm-hmm.
and the other hours just was Barney. But I think that the meet and greet was 10 and a half in the morning.
Wow.
Mm, I was in front of the Barney fountain, just waiting and waiting and seeing my watch and waiting.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw a purple spot coming from the theater,
Uh-huh.
from the building of the theater, with his arms just like this, and watching me. I I got frozen.
Mhm.
I didn't know what to do, and I was watching him, and a tear become
Oh.
to flow.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's I remember if it was yesterday. Um, and then, like, I don't know how many time it took to just run to his arms, and have one of the biggest dreams of my life came
Yeah.
true. Um, I started to cry a lot, and saying to him thank you. Mm, I don't know how much time it took the hug, but they were so special with me. And not just the dinosaurs, but also the I don't know how to say the words, but the people who worked on the
The
attraction.
Wranglers. Uh-huh.
Uh, Sorry?
You mean like the Wranglers, the people that help guide
Oh,
them
yeah,
around? Yeah.
yeah. I remember one of them that is who is Trisha. Trisha.
Mhm.
She was on the 3 times I went, and we're friends on Facebook, and she remember me. She remembers me. Continue with the story. It was amazing. I remember that I brought a memory book that
Mhm.
I got inspired with the memory book that the kids made for their
Uh-huh.
cantina
Yeah.
in the new school episode, and I made a book for Barney, Baby Bob, and BJ, and we started to seeing it, and then and then I get to the show. Oh man, it was amazing when the lights began to turn off,
Mm.
and the music began, and then Barney appears. Wow, it's emotion that I never felt before. And after that, with never I have that emotion again. It
Yeah,
was amazing seeing Barney jump, and the performance was pretty good. Seeing Barney jump, and it's pretty big. I know that I thought Barney's big, but it's pretty big.
yeah.
And after the show, the Wranglers had a beautiful surprise for me. They closed the theater and made a private meet and greet for me.
Oh wow.
Yes, I was with Barney, Baby Bob, and BJ, and my mom, uh, for about an hour, talking, taking photos, talking with the Wranglers, and I don't know how to say it. Contar and sorry. Mm, and sharing with them some memories, with Barney, uh, from my childhood. Mm, and then that what happened. Uh, I didn't realize in the whole day that they were people inside a costume. I
Yeah.
feel Barney real
Hmm.
and Baby Bob and BJ. I think that that day on the Baby Bob suit, it was
Oh,
Lauren
Lauren Maya.
Magix, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome.
I think she was that day,
Hmm.
and she was a beautiful Baby Bob.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I think yeah, that's a cool experience to be able to have with those characters, especially um I think it shows you the magic of what Barney is because the people who worked at Universal, aside from Lauren, weren't a part of the Barney series at any point, right? They were just people working at this amusement park. But I've heard many stories. You're not the only story I've heard where people have gone there to meet Barney, and then the workers set up just because I don't know, they feel it in their heart or something to set up a private moment for someone specific to have time with those characters. I think that just it really shows you the magic of what Barney is and the people that's connected to it, no matter where they're working at with that show, and knowing how to identify people that could use, you know, a little bit of more of a special moment with that character and getting the opportunity to have that. Um, I think is truly amazing. So I'm glad that you were able to have that opportunity to have that direct connection and enjoy that time in that way. That's really cool.
Thanks, man. It was pretty cool. One of the most important moments in my life.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Um, Changing just a little bit, not talking about necessarily Barney, but you there in Colombia are also an actor yourself, right? Um,
Yes, yes.
what what got you into um, wanting to be an actor? For me, you know that I do Mr. K's Clubhouse. You've helped me with some
Yes.
things with dubbing. Um,
Yes.
Me watching Barney as a kid, that's where I found my love for acting and for music and for dance. And so that guided my life to wanting to be an actor and those kind of things. Um, why for you, why do you think what made you want to be an actor, and what has that journey been like being able to be an actor and do these different jobs and things?
Me too. That's the same story.
Wow.
I I I never knew when I was a kid that the job of an actor actually existed. I
Mm.
thought that the people who were inside the TV were inside the TV
Uh-huh.
and they lived there. And I always said to my mom, I always asked to my mom, Mom, I want to be there. I want to be inside of that screen. uh, and my mom said to me, if you want it, you have to be an actor.
Mm.
But uh, it happened when I watched Barney and Friends, but more when I watched the live performances, Barney Live, Barney's Big
Yeah.
Surprise. It was recorded on a TV, but of course I saw that they were on a stage in
Hmm.
a venue with um with um with people, the people the that are in the audience.
Audience. Yeah.
um yes, they got me, and I always said, I want to be there, I want to be there, I want to be there. um and also I think the concept of imagination,
Yeah.
you you and I are, we are colleagues, I think is the word. And maybe the what I'm going to say, you are going to be identified.
Hmm.
But when Barney um, when Barney taught through all the program to use our imaginations, to the example that I used before, to imagine that your bed is a sheep,
Hmm.
or I don't know, your
Towel is a cape.
you can go. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the example that you got into your closet to a ship to Imagination Island.
Oh yeah. There
Something,
you go.
something, yes, some things like that. Uh, and that's what actors actually do.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I think in a figurative way, Barney was saying to me, with imagination, you can do this to be an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
So I understood this, that I'm saying, mm, as an adult, because you understood things that you don't understand when you're a kid, as an adult. Um, but I think that when I was a kid, I without knowing it, I decided to be an actor thanks to Barney,
Wow.
to seeing these kids on the TV and wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. It's cool that it is the same story for me. Like I told you, as a kid, I
Great.
didn't know I didn't know that I wanted to be an actor, right? The idea came along as I got older, but then when I look back on my life now and what I'm doing now and the journey I went on, my first time being shown what acting was or dancing or singing was all Barney. I used to stand in front of the TV and act out the show, and that was my first introduction as a
Yes, me
2 or
too.
3-year old to acting. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it was more than just a show of education and teaching us things. Um, but for a lot of us, it's where we began to figure out or see what a picture of what we could be as adults, right? We could grow up and be on TV or do puppetry like our friend Brandon Smith does and our other friends, or
Yes.
sing or dance, and you can do that, and that was a real thing. Here in America, it's sometimes it's harder for boys because not a lot of people think boys should sing or dance and do that kind of thing. So seeing shows like Barney, where you saw kids, boys specifically on there singing and dancing, or even the dinosaurs who were boys singing and dancing, it showed you that you can do that. Uh, and I think that's really cool that your story is kind of the same of being able to uh, find what became a love of yours and what you're able to do now and be successful with from just that show for little kids that we grew up with. It just shows you how important that character is and that work that they put into that show is outside of just what they did on the TV.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's really awesome.
it's
Oh, go ahead.
it's. Oh, thank you. I think um, it's so beautiful that we are connected that way.
Mhm.
Um, I love what you do on Mr. K's Clubhouse
Thank you.
because getting inspired with Barney and all of these TV shows that we all grew up with,
Mhm.
um, and you continue with the legacy. It's pretty amazing. I had the chance to watch a few episodes of Mr. K's Clubhouse,
Mhm.
and it's amazing that you continue sending a message of love, acceptance, empathy, music, dancing, good manners, and all of these good concepts that Barney taught to us. And now that you're doing the same thing, but in your way, with your character, with your show, it's wonderful. And I want to congratulate you because it's a great task to
Yeah.
and a great responsibility to do it. But you and your team and all the people that make this beautiful show are
Mhm.
making a very good job. So
Thank
congratulations.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. When I started that show, the whole idea was it was only to make a show that was educational, that was teaching kids, because we don't have much of that anymore, and a show that made them feel like they were accepted. And everything else from there, it's grown, and yeah, we've taken inspiration from Barney and other shows, and we've put our own spin on things, and it's become this great thing that keeps growing. But it was really just those two things. We wanted to teach kids and wanted to make sure that they were loved. And I mean, that's all that Barney really did, and Mr. Rogers did is just wanted to make sure that kids were seen and they were loved, and then they taught something along the way. And so I always am excited when friends like you, or we have Bob Singleton who does music for our show. Steve White's done some stuff with us, and then I've used a lot of, I don't want to say the word use. I've paid a lot of friends from the Barney community to do things on our show as well, because they understand just how much I understand the importance of what Barney was to us and what we want to be for kids. And so thank you for that.
No, you're welcome.
The other question that I have for you is, towards the end here, we start to ask our guests to bring in an item or something that means the most to them. Sometimes it's one item, sometimes it's more than that. But we ask them to bring a Barney item that they own that means the most to them, and then just give us a story on why you chose that item and what it means to you. What item did you bring today, and can you share that with us?
Of course. It's a pleasure for me to show you. I brought two items.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, I have this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Is a picture with him,
Hmm.
with the big purple guy himself.
Yeah.
I was crying a lot with in this picture
Yeah.
when the picture was taken. It was back in 2019, and I don't know why I had this strange feeling that the attraction uh, was going to be closed in any
Hmm.
time
Yeah.
closer. And then one year, it was November of 2018,
Hmm.
and a year and a little more, the attraction was closed.
Wow.
So I was so nostalgic, and I just wanted to be in these in these arms
Yeah.
the time that I could. Yeah, actually, it is a screenshot from a video.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have the video. I was crying a lot, and the I want to thank the performer that was that day,
Yeah.
because the three times I went, this was the most warmest and most varnish from
Mhm.
the three times that I went. I felt, again, it wasn't a man inside a suit. It was Barney.
Yeah.
It was Barney there. So this is an item that I love, and I keep uh, in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that picture. Where's the picture frame is really cool too. I've never seen that picture frame before. Where'd you find that?
Universal Studios. Look,
Oh, it's
Universal
from
Studios.
Universal. It's so weird that they had riff things there and no riff.
Yes,
That's
yes.
really
Actually,
cool.
all the stuff that I had from the Barney store,
Mhm.
it it had riff. I
Wow.
have a postcard, a towel, a towel of the four dinosaurs in at the beach.
Oh,
At
sure.
the
Okay.
at the beach. Yes. Um, I remember the third time I went, they started to sell uh, things that weren't related to Barney. For
Oh, really?
example, SpongeBob, Scooby Doo,
Hmm.
other Universal characters. But they were selling the Barney police officer, the chef, and the
Oh,
and
yeah.
the train driver. Yes, I remember that. So this is an item that I love.
Cool.
And the other one, the story is a little bit funny.
Okay.
I have this Barney.
Nice. I used to have that one.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have this one too.
I used to
I don't.
when I was younger.
Yes,
Mhm.
I bought it not too long ago.
Mm.
I bought it on a thrift store, in
Yeah.
a thrift store. Yes, but the funny thing is that I think it used to have a sound box inside,
Oh, yep.
and when I received it, I opened his here, he's here, and it didn't came nothing. Um, I don't know when it was part of the collection of the owner, it he didn't have the sound box.
Mm.
So I always wanted to have a Barney that speaks in Spanish, but with Jose Carlos' voice,
Oh, yeah.
because all the Barney plushes had the Barney Spanish. I got tangled. The Barney plushes that speak in Spanish
Mhm.
have the Ruben's voice.
Yeah.
It was just one that was the who has the heart and says "I
Yep.
love you," but in Spanish "Te quiero yo," and and was the only that had the Jose Carlos voice.
Mhm.
But I don't have it because it's pretty difficult to find one of those.
Yeah.
So I bought a sound box that I could connect to my computer
Hmm.
and upload whatever I want. I have 2 hours to to put the audios that I want. So I put some tracks from Barney episodes or songs of
Oh, cool.
Jose Carlos' voice. So I'm going to show you. Mm, let me a moment.
Mhm.
What happened?
He doesn't want to show us.
This phrase actually is that the phrase from Barney's Great Adventure,
Okay.
and that is the dreams you see most clearly are most likely to come true. I think it is.
Oh, sure.
This is that phrase, but in Spanish.
That's really awesome, man. That's cool and creative
Yes.
too for you to decide to do that.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a personalized Barney for me,
Yeah.
so I think it's an important item because I, as you say, I I used my imagination
Hmm.
to solve that problem that the Barney has in the soundbox. So I I bought one for him and put the audios and the songs that I want. I think
Yeah.
he could. Oh, it has everyone special, but in Spanish.
Cool. That's really cool, man.
Yes, it has a lot of songs and phrases in Spanish. So when I'm bored or when I want to talk with someone, I just I just put on the sound box and I started to press.
That's really cool. I love that. Yeah, if I remember right, um, I think it did have a sound box. The one song that I remember it playing when I was a kid, when I had it, was "If All the Raindrops." Si las gotas de lluvias. I don't know if that's the same for you guys in
Yes,
Colombia.
perfect. Your Spanish perfect.
Thank you, thank you. Um, but I think that's even cooler to be able to have a sound box and then load your own thing into it. It reminds me. I don't know if you ever saw the toy. We had it here in the U.S. It was called the especially Barney, where you could connect it to the computer and you could have it say your name and have these different scripts that it said. Now
Yes.
I'm kind of jealous because I wish we had a toy like that we could just load it with our own Barney songs and have it play. So that's a really cool one of a kind uh, item.
Yeah.
Now that you
And
have.
if you want, I bought the sound box
Mhm.
in Amazon.
Oh, okay. So yeah, anyone can just
Yes.
can purchase it and kind of do their own thing. Maybe I'll
Yes, of course.
Maybe I'll take my kid's Barney's World toy that talks and switch out the voice box for a good voice.
Yes, I think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Billy, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us today. Thank you for taking the time and sharing your story, your experiences, and your items with us. Um, Before we finish up, um, two questions for you. One that I wanted to ask it earlier, but I forgot. Do you have? We talked about your favorite era or generation and seasons of Barney. Do you have a favorite song? Is there one song that you like to listen to or your go-to when you want to be in a good mood? Is there one song that you like more than the others?
Yes, I have one that is very special to me, and is You Can Count on Me.
Oh, I love that song.
It's wonderful. I like more in Spanish than in English.
Ooh.
Um, and I think that song um, marked a very important moment in my life when I was 15 years old. I was very sick. I get very sick uh, because I don't know how to say the word in English, but
Okay.
I started to have problems with my heart.
Okay. Yeah.
My heart got sick. Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, and I used to watch a lot Barney because is as you and a lot of the fandom, Barney is our safe place when we are sick, when we are sad. Um, and that song, in since my childhood, that song wasn't my favorite. I like the song, but my favorites were Just Imagine, My Family is Just Right for Me,
Mhm.
Everyone is Special, If All the Raindrops, I Love You. Um, but one time I was watching Sing and Dance with Barney,
Mhm.
and Barney sang "You Can Count on Me" on that show, and I felt that he was singing to me. He was singing that song to me, and I needed uh, at that moment. So from there, that started to be my favorite song. It's wonderful. I love it. And when I feel sad or or happy too, I sing it.
That's amazing, man. I You don't hear a lot of people mention "You Can Count on Me." One, because there's just so many Barney songs that you forget a lot of them until someone else says it. But "You Can Count on Me" is one of those really really good ones that sometimes I wish they would have used more. But I also like that they didn't use it as much because the times that they did were really special moments, where you really
Yes.
needed that song. So yeah, I would have loved to hear it more. At least they never put it on Barney albums or anything, at least not here in the US. So I would have loved to see it in places like that. But the times that they did sing it, it was a very special song for those special moments that, yeah, you forget about how great certain songs were until someone mentions it. So that's a really good choice. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, the last question that I have, I ask this question for everyone at the end, and it can be however you want to answer the question, however you receive it for yourself. But it's just simply why Barney? For you, why Barney?
Okay. I'm a big fan of your podcast. I saw the most of the episodes, so I already know that the question was at the end of the episode. So I wanted to write it
Mm.
before, and if you let me, I want to read it.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So, um, where is it? Oh, here. So the question is why Barney? And I want to change a little bit the question. I want to change to why you Barney. So I want to the read it especially for Barney. So it says, "Dear Barney, why you? Because you were my first friend, and somehow you never stopped being one. You walked into my life at a moment when I didn't have the words to explain what I felt, but I felt everything, and you made all of it safer. You were warm when the world felt too cold. You were imagination when reality felt too heavy. You were a place where I never had to pretend, a space where simply being myself was more than enough. As I grew up, you became more than a purple dinosaur on a screen. You became the voice that taught me kindness when I didn't know how to give it to myself. You became the presence that made loneliness feel less painful. You became the gentle reminder that imagination isn't something we outgrow. It's something that keeps our inner light alive. Why you? Because you shaped parts of me I treasure today. Because you held pieces of my heart long before I understood what those pieces meant. Because you were love in its simplest and truest form. You taught me how to see the magic in ordinary days. You taught me that friendship is built with patience, laughter, and unconditional love. And even now, as an adult, I carry you with me, not as a character, but as a friend, a memory, and a steady light. I realized something beautiful with time, sorry. Imagination keeps you alive, but it but love is what keeps you real in me. And as
Mm.
long as I keep loving, dreaming, and imagining, you stay close, guiding me, grounding me, comforting me in the quiet ways only the deepest childhood connections can. Thank you, Barney, for being my safe place. Sorry. For being my beginning, for being the friend who taught me how to see the world and myself with a little more joy, softness, and wonder. With all the love of the child I was and the adult I am becoming, thank you. I love you. Oh, sorry.
Wow, man, that's good stuff. It's really, really touching and comforting. Um, yeah, I don't think there's nothing more that I think we need to say. I think that's a perfect way to end this episode of the podcast. Um, wow, great answer, man. Thank you so much, Billy, for all that you do for entertainment, for being an actor and providing us with your talent. But then also thank you for taking the time here to sit with me, have a conversation with me about Barney and your life. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Can't say thank you enough. Um, can you let people know where they can find you and follow you and support you?
Of course. My social networks is the word. True?
Yeah.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as Billy Koppel, BILLYKOPPEL. And yeah, and also I have a YouTube channel that is called Barney and Billy, and there I upload something like the channel Our Friend Barney,
Okay. Yeah.
but in Spanish. I have been uploading um, episodes, the specials, the movie, songs, and all related with Barney, but in Spanish. So if you want to watch Barney, and I think I have the most complete com yeah, the most complete YouTube channel of Barney in Spanish, more than the official the official Barney channel in Spanish. If you want to go there, you're most welcome. And yeah, in those three social networks, and on Facebook too, Billy Copeland.
Wonderful. Yeah. So please go out, everyone, and support him on all his social media networks, on YouTube as well. Billy, thank you again. Barney history fans, thank you for going on this month-long journey with us. I hope you've enjoyed these limited episodes of the Spots of Love podcast. Thank you for tuning in. And who knows, maybe somewhere down the road, we'll see you in your spot of love. Take care, everybody.